Back here on SportsLine talking about the Davis Cup coming up April 6th through the 8th on the campus of Belmont at the Curb Event Center. Belmont basketball coach Rick Byrd was instrumental in getting this party started. Scott Ramsey with the Nashville Sports Council also certainly helped get things going. Coach, I want to ask you, because I think it's important. We talked earlier about J. Wayne Richmond, who's the manager of major events for the USTA and certainly involved with this. He's a Belmont alum who grew up in Smyrna. He contacted you first about the possibility of doing it on the Belmont campus. What does it mean? One, I'm going to ask you to speak for him a little bit, but what does it mean for him to bring this event back to Belmont? And also just for you, I know I've talked to you about this. This is sort of out of the purview of a college basketball coach, but to do this at your school and help be involved, what's it just mean to put Belmont on this stage?
Well, first, let's go to Jay Wayne. He came and watched one of our, he lives in Florida, just moved to Orlando where they built the brand new national tennis campus to put his office there, but he lived in Ponte Vedra much of the time when he was working for the USTA. And he came to see a game in North Florida one day and just came down and introduced himself and said he was proud of what our team had done, and he's a proud of Belmont alumnus. But it is really neat to see people from that generation, when Belmont was really a little bitty tiny college and not a lot going for it, to see how much Belmont means to him. And the day of the press conference, he almost couldn't get up there and talk about it coming to Belmont because he was so emotional about it. This means this is the culmination of a long tennis administration career for him, really, in a lot of ways. So that was great. You know, to get to be a little bit of a part of all this, you know, to get that call and that email and then go on, it's been, you know, you just think, I'm never going to have anything to do with anything of a major sporting event, certainly not tennis, and yet there it is, and I'm pushing for it and lobbying for it, and
now you're selling tickets.
Yeah, now I'm selling tickets. Yeah, USTA.com. That's where you can get them. So it's been fun, and it's neat. It's neat to be able to do something for Belmont besides just be their basketball coach for a while. I think this is a big deal for Belmont University.
There's about 1,000 tickets left, by the way, for people who are wanting to go, and that's for each of the 3 days. You can get them in single session tickets if you want to. Again, singles matches on Friday, doubles Saturday, more singles matches. Could decide it on Sunday. For people who, you know, are on the fence, can you give them a little bit more about the setting? It's obviously going to be intimate. The price, just everything that they would need to know.
Yeah, I can try on the price. I think if you bought a package for all 3 days, there's 3 price points, and they're not real cheap. It's $80 for the lowest price, $135. And then there aren't many of the prime seats that are more like $175.
Yeah, I don't know if there's many of those left.
I don't think there's many of those left. But
no seat's going to be a bad seat at all.
Believe me, I purchased 4 $80 seats, and they're plenty good. Yeah. They're in the end zone, looking right down on it, which is really the best seat in tennis if they're going to go by and try to find something in the end zone where you can watch the whole thing in that way, and you're not doing this the whole day. It's going to be, first of all, Belmont's an easy place. The Curb Event Center is a great place. You can park on campus. The whole garage is going to be reserved for that. Another garage is going to be reserved for it. It's easy to get in and out of. It's just, it's going to be one of the biggest things we've had and one of the most exciting things we've had. And everybody at Belmont's pretty fired up.
And I think the tennis community is certainly getting fired up about it. Scott, do you have any details on some of the events of the week that people will maybe be able to be a part of even if they can't go to the match?
I think we're kind of working on those right now, Steve, to kind of roll those out publicly. But I know, again, we talked about USTA's really kind of focus on grassroots growing of tennis. That's going to be a big focus throughout the week. A lot of kids, I hate to use the word clinic, but there's going to be a lot of engagement throughout, both at Belmont, a couple parks in Metro. Certainly there's going to be a lot of press accessibility. Jim Courier's a coach. I know he's going to kind of lead that. And then certainly I just think it's the hype kind of rolling into it. You know, certainly Rick mentioned, you know, we're going to have a welcome event, Country Music Hall of Fame, kind of showcase Nashville. But, you know, I think to build on Jay Wayne's decision a little bit, I think certainly Rick won't take the credit, but I think it goes back to Jay Wayne's confidence in Rick and Belmont. And it still is a people business in whatever we do, and certainly Rick knows that from his coaching career. But being able to kind of market the city and have somebody like Rick take the lead in that, and Jay Wayne was so excited, to his point, not only for his alma mater, but to be able to do this for somebody who's become a good friend to him. And I think it's really you're gonna feel that in the execution of the event.
Nashville has hosted a lot of big-time things. The Davis Cup will just be the next big event. Belmont, the city of Nashville, partnering in this. It's going to be a lot of fun, not just for tennis fans, but for sports fans in general to have this event coming next month. We got to take our final break. We'll come back and wrap things up right after this.